Hey everyone, you're welcome back again to Eleganza TV. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how I cut and sew this stylish Ankara Bubu gown with bias detail. So I made my own using 3 different Ankara prints. So I'll be showing you how I did that. So if you enjoy content like this and you want to see more, do well to like, share and subscribe to the channel so you'll be among the first to know when a video drops. So without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. So like I said in the beginning of the video, I made use of 3 Ankara prints, and ensure that when you're selecting yours, you should take the ones that complement each other. For the Ankara, I got 1 yard each, which is 3 yards that I have right here. Then for the bias, I have 5 yards, but when making yours, you need about 7 to 8 yards. So the 5 yards was not enough for me. I just had to manage it. So in the course of the video, you see how I managed it. So this is how I want the Ankara to be. I want the one that has red to be on top, and then the green one will be in the middle, and the third one will be on the bottom. So first of all, I folded the first part into 2 like this, and I'm going to fold it again to be wide enough to get my body measurements. So after folding it into 4, I measured my shoulder and my sleeve length. So this part is not wide enough for what I need, so I turn it over to the other side. I still have 2 folded parts to serve as my front and my back. So after doing that, I measured my shoulder divided by 2. Then I measured 11 inches for my sleeve length. My original sleeve length is supposed to be 13 inches, but I'm taking out 2 inches for the band. So after that, I came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slant, and then I marked 3.5 inch for the neck wideness. Then I went ahead to connect the shoulder slants like you see me doing. So for the back neck depth, I made use of 1.5 inch and I connected to my neck wideness. Then for the front neck depth, I made use of 7 inches and it is going to be a V neckline. So I also connected using my straight ruler to my neck wideness. So for the neck wideness, I used 3.5 inches, but after sewing I noticed it was too wide, so when making yours, ensure to use 3 inches for a start. And then I came down from my shoulder slant by 10 inches for my arm side length. Then I measured from the folded part to my arm side length and I connected to form a straight line. So I'm also going to rule horizontally on that arm side length. So on that line, I will be taking my body measurements. So for this particular Boubou gown, I am making use of the biggest part of my body, which is my hip. So I divided my hip into 4 and I added 4 inches allowance for ease. Then I added 1 inch for sewing allowance, so making everything 5 inches in total. So then you're going to connect to form a curve to your sleeve length, and this is how it's going to be like. Then for the length of this first part, I wanted the length to be 12 inches after sewing, but then I added sewing allowance of 1 inch for the shoulder and also for the joining, so I made it 14 inches in total. Then I'm going to rule a straight line and cut on my marked lines. I will start by cutting my back neck depth, which is the round neck, and then after cutting the top part, I will separate the front and the back to get my neck depth for the front to cut it out. So after cutting my front neck depth, this is what it looks like. So I'll be cutting the second part, and from where my body measurement stop, I'm just going to take it straight down to the M. Like I said before, I'm making use of this green part for the middle, and this green one is going to be longer a bit, so I folded it this way. So when cutting this second part, ensure that you take note of your full length. So I wanted my length to be about 45 to 47, so I had to measure what I have on my first half length and measure the down part, which is the second one, and it wasn't giving me what I wanted, so I had to fold it another way to get a longer length. So I folded it this way, and ensure that your fold is equal. Then after getting this measurement, I will go ahead to cut. So all I need to do is to measure what I have as the wideness on the first half length and place it on the second part and just take it straight down. So after cutting it like this, I want to go ahead to cut the last part, but I need to measure what I have here to get the exact length for the last part. So I measured everything and I took out my half-inch sewing allowance from each of them, and I have 33 and a half in total. So for my down part, I will be taking out 33 and a half inch before I get my full length. So I folded this last part into four to get my front and my back. Then for the length, I took out the 33 and a half inch to get the full length. So I wanted the full length to be about 48 inches. Then after folding, it will give me 46 inches, which is the length that I want the gown to be. Then I measured the wideness on the horizontal part, which is my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 5 inches. And I'm just going to measure that all the way to the hem and cut it straight. So guys, after cutting this third part, I have these remaining pieces which is going to be serving as my band for the hand. So I had to cut another piece from the hem of this part so that I'll be able to fix it on the neck area, because I wanted the color, this down part, to be on the neck just like in the inspiration. So now you're done cutting, it's time to stitch all the pieces together. I already gone ahead to separate the back pieces from each of the fabric, and next I'm going to place each of the panels front side facing each other and pin. And so I'll be doing the same thing for the back, and after joining all the panels together, I'll iron the seams open and make it relax. So guys, after joining the seams, I went ahead to iron them open like I said I would. So we're starting with the back part. I'm gonna head to cut my facing for the back neckline, and I turn it to the front part, and I'm going to stitch the neck facing with 0.5 inch sewing allowance. Then after stitching, you're going to top stitch and then turn it neatly to the other side and iron, just like the way you normally sew lining or sew your facing. So I folded the fabric again to get my pocket length, because there's going to be a pocket on the sides. So after folding it like this, from the shoulder line I measured 17.5 inches, which is my half length plus half inch that I'll be using to join the shoulder. So I use my straight ruler to ensure that the line is straight to the side. So make sure that you use your half length so that your pocket is just going to be okay. So after marking the line, I will notch the points and then go ahead to cut my pocket facing. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut my pocket facing. I cut 4 pieces of it. I'm using a different fabric because my fabric is exhausted. So the 3 yards fabric was not enough to cut pocket facing. So if you're making yours, you can maybe get 4 yards, or you can get another fabric to do your pocket facing. So I place my pocket facing starting from the notch point, and I'll take it to my sewing machine to stitch it down. So this is the front part. I folded it into 2 to get my pocket length, and the pocket length is still the same thing as the back, 17 and a half. So I went ahead to notch it on the side. To get the V-shaped neckline design, I went in by 1 inch from my already cut out neckline, and I connected the lines to form a sharp V. Then I carefully cut under marked lines to remove that section, which I'll be replacing with another fabric. So this is the fabric that I'll be using to replace that cut out V neckline. To replace it, you're going to measure what you have on your V neckline. I have about 11 inches. Then I'm going to make the length on my fabric to be 13 inches. So as you can see, I have 2 pieces for it because it's going to be on fold. So I measured 13 inches for the length, and the wideness is about 3.5 inches. So after cutting the length of 13 inches, I made the wideness to be 3.5 inches like I said before. So I opened my fabric like this, and then I'm going to place the cutout fabric underneath the V neckline. So this is what you're going to do. And then on the cutout fabric, I measured 2 inches out. So from that 2-inch point, I'm going to use my chalk to draw my V neckline on that point. So I'll take it to my sewing machine to stitch on that marked line. So after stitching, I'm going to cut on the excess parts and notch the midpoints. Then I'll iron the seams open to make it relax and fold it together like this, just like you see me doing. Then after folding it, you are going to have this V-shaped design. So guys, after I finish ironing, this is what it looks like. And on fold, I have 1.5 inch on fold. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to notch on the V parts, and I'll take it to my sewing machine to show you how to stitch. So we are going to call this V neckline design V panel. So the reason I'm giving it a name is so that when I'm explaining, you'll be able to understand the part I am talking about. So after notching the points on the midpoint on the V panel, I placed it right side facing my main fabric like this, and I went ahead to pin on the rough edges. Ensure that the notch point on the V panel matches with your V neckline. So on my sewing machine, I'll be stitching with 0.5 inch sewing allowance, and I will stop on the notched points. So after stopping on the notched points, I will go ahead now to turn the V panel to the other side and stitch on my neckline. So this is what it looks like after stitching the V panel. I'll be trimming out the excess from the shoulder. So guys, next thing I'm going to do now is to join the shoulders. So like I said in the beginning of the video when I was cutting, my neck wideness was now too wide because I used 3.5 inches. So I had to use 1 inch to join the shoulder instead of my normal 0.5 inch sewing allowance. So this way the neckline will not be too wide. So guys, after joining the shoulders, I ironed the seams open. Next thing I want to do now is to fix my band. My band is on fold and it is 2.5 inches on fold. Then I'm going to start pinning from the midpoint. Just go ahead to pin on your sleeve opening around it and then stitch with 0.5 inch allowance. So I've gone ahead to pin the band on the sleeve opening, and I'll take it to my sewing machine to stitch and then trim off the excess from the band. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to shape the sides of the gown. So I folded the front and the back to be equal, and I will be stitching with 1 inch sewing allowance, which I added. Then when I get to my pocket facing, I will stitch the pocket facing around with ½ inch till I get to the hem. So I want to put slits on both sides, so I'm going to measure 9 inches from my hem line. So you can go ahead to increase your slit length depending on what you like. You can even stop your slit length on the joining of the second panel. So right now I've gone ahead to join the sides with my sewing allowance of 1 inch, and then I stitch my pocket with ½ inch, and I stopped on my slit length of 9 inches. So on this cuff part, which is my armhole, I'll be making notches on that point on both sides, so that when I turn it over to the front, it will be easier for me to iron. It's just going to relax very well. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do now is to fold in my slit allowance, and then after that I will fold the hem with my 2 inches folding allowance. So at this point, we're done sewing the gown. It's time to fix the bias to it. To get the length of the bias, you need to measure what you have as the wideness. I have 29 inches right now, and then the length on the sides is going to be what I have on the length for the last panel. So I have 12 inches. So to get my bias length, I measured 12 inches, which is going to drop on the side. Then I measured my 29 inches to top stitch on my fabric, and on the other side I measured the 12 inches again. So I'll go ahead to explain again. I measured 12 inches for the first drop, and then I measured 29 inches for joining on my fabric and 12 inches again for the second drop. So to start sewing, I've gone ahead to measure the 12 inches at first on one side. Then on my fabric, I measured in 1 inch on both sides. So I'm going to place my bias on top of it, and I'll start stitching from one end of where the 1 inch starts and stop on the other end. So to make it easy for me to sew, I'll be using pins to secure the bias to the fabric. And then after holding it down, I will take it to my sewing machine to stitch. So ensure that you move the back part away when you're stitching, when you're top stitching, so that you don't go ahead to top stitch the both fabric together. So when it got to this point, I realized that there could have been an easy way to do this. I could have just easily sewn my bias to the front part before shaping the sides. So if you're making yours, if you don't want to go through this stress, you can go ahead to top stitch your bias, give allowance on the side so that your bias doesn't go inside of the gown, you get. Then when you're shaping it, you just move it away so you don't top stitch it inside. So after top stitching the first bias, the next thing I did was to measure 2.5 inches length, and I marked the line on top. So I'm going to place a bias on that part as well. The only difference with the first one and the second one is the length for the dropping. So I measured the length from that marked point to the hem, and I had 15 inches. So I measured 15 inches for the dropping, and I measured my wideness of 29 inches, which is going to be sewn on the gown. Then on the other end, I still measured 15 inches again. So that is how to get the length of the bias. So to start sewing, I went in by 1 inch on both sides, and then for my bias I will measure 15 inches for the first dropping, and then place that 15-inch point on the marked line. Then from that point I will go ahead to pin till I get to the other end, and after pinning I will take it to my sewing machine to top stitch on both sides of the bias strip. So you're also going to do the same thing for your back. So because I had only 5 yards of bias, it was not enough to do 2 lines for the back, so I had to do only 1. So if you want to achieve the same 2 lines for both the front and the back, you need about 7 to 8 yards of bias. So I measured the same length just like I did for the front, and I'll go ahead to top stitch just like I explained before. So after sewing my gown, I measured the length to ensure that I have exactly what I wanted. So I have about 45.5, which is also okay. And then I went ahead to use a lighter to finish up the edges of the bias. So we've come to the end of this tutorial, and this is how the gown looks after sewing. Let me know in the comments, how would you rate this Ankara fabric combination out of 10? Also, if you like this tutorial, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more sewing tips. See you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching.